Hey everyone, this is LG Nathan again with another episode for Marvel Puzzle Quest. So in this episode, I'm going to be showing you the setup that I use for the latest event, Webslinger. So essentially, I have to use Spider Man, but I'm going to show you a combination of the two characters that I usually pair him up with. The first team that I'm going to use is obviously Spider Man because I have to use him, and I'm going to combine him with Rocket and Groot and Iron Man Model 40. So let me show you guys how the setup's going to look. This is basically what the setup's going to look. Right now we have Rocket and Groot who's powered up and Spider-Man who's powered up. In case you guys didn't know, Spider-Man is probably one of the few characters in Marvel Puzzle Quest where any of his moves, right, his yellow ability, his blue ability, or his purple ability, they really don't do any damage. So even if you activate them, they really don't do anything. His blue ability just it essentially just stuns the enemy for 1, 2, or 3 turns, depending on how many web tiles are in the board. And his purple ability, his purple ability only creates defense tiles. So he's one of the few characters that really doesn't do much in terms of damage whenever you have enough AP to use it. And finally, I forgot to mention his yellow ability, it regenerates health. So the purpose of this video, I'm going to use Iron Man Model 40, his yellow ability, to get me green and blue and also red AP to power up each one of the moves. So I'm going to be using Rocket and Groot's green ability, Spider-Man's blue ability, and Iron Man Model 40's red ability. So I'm going to go ahead, complete the entire game, show you guys how it turns out, and then I'm going to come back for round 2, showing you the second setup that I'm using. Okay. So also one other thing, keep in mind that, and I forgot to mention this in the previous video, keep in mind that every time before I go to a match, I always stockpile on a couple of tiles. In this instance, it's purple and blue and yellow and red. It's very important to stockpile. They really don't cost much. I mean, if you consider it's only 200 ISO, not 2200, so it's a very limited amount of ISO. Always stockpile whenever you can. For this purpose, I'm going to stockpile on yellow and red, just to fire off Iron Man Model 40's ability really fast, and blue and purple just because I really care about the blue for Spider-Man's ability as well. So check out the gameplay again. I'll come back for round number 2 once I start the second match. Okay, so that pretty much took care of the first round. A couple of things to note in there. One, I basically tried to use Iron Man Model 40's yellow ability first before I fired up his yellow ability, his red ability. His red ability does like 6,500 damage, and that's him standard. He's not powered up, so he's definitely a good character to have in your roster. His yellow ability, it helps you out a lot by getting you a lot of blue, red, and green AP. And then his red ability, it fires off massive damage, so like 6,400 or 6,700 is the standard amount of damage that he does if you power it up. This setup, as you guys were able to see, I took very little damage out of the out of the entire match, so it really didn't take much damage. I didn't take any damage for Iron Man, a little bit of damage for Spider Man, and Rocket and Groot, but Rocket and Groot is fine. I mean, he could get beat up and it's no problem because his yellow ability just helps him regenerate as soon as he goes below 25% health. So anyway, that is by far my best setup for Spider-Man. I like the use of his stun ability just because it gives me enough time so that all the countdown tiles try to match up. And another thing as well, keep in mind for Iron Man Model 40's yellow ability, if there's a potential for a yellow match, try to make that yellow match first so that the enemy team doesn't get to match it up. Since the enemy team also relies on yellow for Spider-Man, they'll try to match yellow whenever they can, or the machine will try to match yellow whenever it can. However, you want to basically match as many of them as you can before you actually use his yellow ability. That way, when you use his yellow ability, it's less likely for the machine to match it up. And then it gives you the most amount. So if the machine doesn't match any of it up, you can get all three of the countdown tiles to go off at the same time, and then it gives you that much more AP for you to juggle around. But that's pretty much a setup. Again, for my opinion, the best setup right now for, or at least the best setup that I have for Spider-Man. That's the preferred team. I actually used the entire team and didn't have to waste an entire health pack throughout the entire event that I was doing it, just because they really don't take any damage. Spider-Man's purple ability creates enough projectiles to the point where you're taking only 1 damage. So pretty good setup. Now, moving on to setup number 2. Setup number 2, I'm just going to swap out Iron Man Model 40 for Ragnarok. Now, Ragnarok, the only reason why I'm using all three of these together is because, one, Ragnarok is powered up. All three of them are powered up, but the main thing is basically each one of these characters is a health regenerator, right? Rocket and Groot regenerates health if he goes below a certain point. We have Ragnarok. He regenerates health every time you fire off his blue ability, which essentially creates charged green tiles, so that it makes Rocket and Groot's green ability a lot faster to use. And like I said, he regenerates. And Spider-Man's yellow ability, he will regenerate health for him and the entire team. So ultimately, it looks like a pretty good team. I really don't think it'll be better than the previous team I just posted, but let's take a look at it and see exactly what you guys think. So that pretty much took care of the second round. As you guys can see, it took a while longer to take down the enemy team. Like I said, it's a good ability, or it's a good team in the fact that you don't take a lot of damage, right? So let's take comp of what happened, right? So each one of these took a little bit of damage, but this Ragnarok only took like 2,000 damage, right? Spider-Man took very little, like around 1,000 only, and then Rocket and Groot, I think he was already hurt even before then, but very minimal damage. So this is a good setup so that you can save your what do you call it, your health packs. You don't necessarily have to be using them. Not the best setup that I would prefer. It takes too long to be complete, or it takes too long to actually wipe out the enemy team, as opposed to the previous setup that I just showed you. So out of the characters here, obviously one of the main characters to get has to be Iron Man Model 40. In addition to Iron Man, Rocket and Groot, they're really, really good. They can help you out when you're in a pinch. If you have taken a lot of health, like I said, it'll regenerate a massive amount of health. So the two characters out of this that I would recommend, Iron Man and Rocket and Groot. So if you don't have them and you're looking for space or to add a new character to your roster, definitely either one of the two, it's going to make a very good addition to the team. So that pretty much does it. I'll go ahead and post another video in a couple of days for the Blind Justice event. I'm gonna show you guys the setup that I use for that one as well. So give it a couple of days and you should see it posted in there, maybe even as early as tomorrow, but at the very latest the day after. So on Thursday you should see it. But like I said, in the meantime, that's pretty much the setup I had for Spider-Man. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them down below. Like I said, just keep your eyes open for that next event for Blind Justice. Thanks.